Am I reading this correctly? Am I saying this correctly? Am I understanding this correctly? Why is it like this? These are just some of the questions I ask myself every single day because of this disorder that I have. Today we're talking about dyslexia. Now, in this day and age, dyslexia is actually pretty well known. However, some people still have a misconception of it. This video is going to help some people to understand what dyslexia is. Fair warning, not everyone who has dyslexia sees everything the same way. It comes in very mild or very severe, and it comes in different forms as well. So, how many people have this affliction? Well, from what I've been able to look up, 780 million people have confirmed case of dyslexia, meaning 1 out of 10 have it. So for my management team that works at FedEx, we usually have a group of anywhere from 80 to 90 people, which means there's like at least a very good chance that there's 8 to 9 people who have dyslexia. I know of 2 people, me and one other, who have dyslexia at work right now. Now I'm going to go over some of the symptoms of dyslexia, what you can actually see if a person has dyslexia, what it looks like when you look at them when they have a dyslexic moment. So let's get right on into that. Let me switch over to Discord here because I put everything up there. All right. So here are the most often reoccurring symptoms. Reading and writing. Difficulty reading, including reading aloud. Slow and labor-intensive reading and writing. Problems spelling. Avoid reading and writing activities. I was notorious for doing this, especially as a child. Difficulty summarizing or recalling what was read. I still struggle with that. Poorly organized written work. Yeah, that's true. I do suck at that. Memory and language. Difficulty remembering names or conversations. That is true a lot, and I feel called out just by that because I have 4 sisters, and I would literally just gave up and would just list every single name that I knew my sisters had until I finally picked the correct one. I would say it aloud. Trouble learning new words or languages. Dude, that. Yes. Like learning ASL and some of the Spanish words that I know, which is basically uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. That took a bit. It took a very long time. Mispronouncing words when speaking or misspelling them when writing. I do this all the time. Confusing visually similar words. They give an explanation here of, can, cab, take, and tack, which are all very similar words. Difficulty with complex verbal instructions. Following instructions or remembering details of conversations may be difficult. But let's move on. Other potential symptoms. Difficulty with math word problems. Yeah, I hate math to this day, which is funny considering how I am doing videos right now. Getting lost easily, especially with written directions. Yep, I know that for a fact. Difficulty with time management and planning. Yes! Let me tell you, there was a certain thing at Walmart that no one liked, and I always forgot about. Self-conscious when speaking to a group. Yes, I still struggle with this. And it's even more impactful for me because I am an introvert by nature. So this does cause a lot of anxiety and stress for me whenever I spoke in a group. It was not fun. May work below their intellectual capacity. I said that completely wrong. Yeah, that is kind of true as well. I usually try to work below what I can do just so I don't run into those problems, which is kind of difficult because 90% of work of job work, your daily life is reading something. They also added in some important considerations. Not all symptoms are present in every individual. Their severity can vary. Dyslexia is a neurodevelopmental disorder, not a sign of low intelligence. There are very successful people who are dyslexic, and we'll get to that in a moment. Yes, I forgot to go over this. So, most people, when they try to describe dyslexia, they say it. This is what they're referring to. They say it's phonological awareness. Phonological awareness. I believe that's how it's called. Now, what is phonological awareness? I'll tell you. So, the umbrella under phonological awareness, if I'm saying that correctly, still, words in a sentence, syllables, onset rhyme, rhyme and alternation, isolation, blending, segmenting, addition, deletion, substitution. Those are all the things that make up phonological awareness. This is what has dyslexic people at a disadvantage. We struggle with everything in there. Now let's get into some more detailed things of what dyslexia is. There's actually several types. So here's one right here. Phonological dyslexia. This type of dyslexia is the most commonly thought of when someone mentions the word dyslexia. It details the difficulties in matching sounds to symbols and breaking down the sound of language. Individuals with phonological dyslexia struggle to decode or sound out words. It's believed that phonological dyslexia is the most common type of dyslexia. Symptoms of phonological dyslexia include difficulty learning sounds made by letters or letter combinations, difficulty sounding out unfamiliar words, difficulty spelling the same word different ways on the same page. I actually did this with dyslexia on my teleprompter. I spelled dyslexia 3 different ways. Slow reading, avoid reading activities, difficulty recognizing familiar words in new context. Rapid naming dyslexia. People who struggle with the ability to rapidly name colors, numbers, and letters when presented with them may have rapid naming dyslexia. This type of dyslexia may be linked to both reading speed and the processing speed for reading. Oh man, it's starting to get to me too. Individuals with rapid naming dyslexia can say names of the colors, numbers, and letters, but often takes them much longer to come up with the correct word. Symptoms of rapid naming dyslexia may include difficulty retrieving words, frequently substituting words or leaving words out altogether, slow to respond orally, slower to complete reading and writing assignments, making up nonsense words in place of real words, using gestures in place of words. Double deficit dyslexia. A person with double deficit dyslexia struggles with 2 aspects of reading. These 2 aspects often include naming speed and identifying the sound in words. This type of dyslexia is a combination of rapid naming and phonological, and is not uncommon. However, it is largely regarded as the most severe type of dyslexia. Symptoms of double deficit dyslexia include poor naming speed rate when asked to recall words and weak phonological awareness. Surface dyslexia. An individual who can sound out new words with ease but fails to recognize familiar words by sight may have surface dyslexia. In this case, experts believe that the brain fails to recognize what the word looks like in order to process the word quickly. This type of dyslexia affects words that need to be memorized because they don't sound how they are spelled, making it more difficult to sound them out. It's not uncommon for an individual with dyslexia to also have both phonological and surface dyslexia. Symptoms of surface dyslexia can include difficulty with whole word recognition, slow to read, avoidant of reading activities, difficulty spelling, difficulty reading words that don't sound the way they are spelled, difficulty reading new words by sight. Visual dyslexia. When a person struggles to remember what they saw on a page, they may have visual dyslexia. This type affects the visual processing, making it so that the brain doesn't get the complete picture of what the eyes see. Visual dyslexia will affect the ability to learn how to spell or form letters, because both require the brain to remember the correct letter sequence or shape, impacting learning process. Symptoms of visual dyslexia include text appearing blurred or going in and out of focus, difficulty tracking across lines of text, difficulty keeping place in text, text appearing double or alternating between single and double, headaches and or eye strain associated with reading. There are also some others which I can't say because I don't know how they are said. So I will post, I'll make sure that all this stuff is actually up on text in the video. Left to right disorder. The inability to tell your left from your right is sometimes referred to as directional dyslexia. All right, the next one, which I can't say because I don't know how it's spelled or is sounded out. When individuals have difficulty with writing and other fine motor skills that affects word spacing, sizing, spelling, legibility, and expression. Another one I can't say. An impairment to the ability to perform accurate math calculations, problem solving and reasoning, learning number-related concepts, and performing basic math skills. This type of dyslexia is also called math dyslexia. And also auditory processing disorder. Individuals with auditory processing disorder experience problems with the brain's ability to process various speech sounds. This disorder is sometimes referred to as auditory dyslexia. That was a lot that I just read, and do not ask me how many times that I had to read all that out because it took a bit. And even in the final cut, you saw where I started to struggle. So famous people. Famous people do have dyslexia, but they are way better at managing it than most. So I have a list of names here, and I'm just going to list a few of them, but I will put the Google search that I put up, that I searched out, on the screen as well. So some famous people are Whoopi Goldberg, Keira Knightley, Albert Einstein, Jennifer Aniston, and Steven Spielberg. There's also John Lennon, Lewis Hamilton, Jay Leno, Tom Cruise, Walt Disney, I didn't know that one, Orlando Bloom, and Tom Holland. I also Googled some specific actors because I've noticed that in bloopers, if you know what you're looking for, are also dyslexic. Johnny Depp is dyslexic, and Robin Williams is dyslexic as well. But there's a whole list there of people who are dyslexic who are very famous and have, I won't say overcome dyslexia, but learned how to deal with it. My life experience. I will say that I was born in the late 1980s, and it was not that well known yet. It was a struggle. And learning how to read as a child was very difficult. And most of my learning education, I thought I was dumb. Not extremely dumb, mind you, but enough to say, what the heck is wrong with me? Because no one else had trouble reading. Like, both of my parents did not have dyslexia. They did not know how to help me with my particular ability. But like one time when I said that I couldn't focus on the words on the page, they actually took me to an eye doctor and got me prescription glasses. It did not help at all. And before you ask anything, no, these are not prescription glasses. These are blue light filter glasses. These only have one job, and they're to filter out the blue light that comes from the 3 to 4 monitors that I'm looking at whenever I'm at my computer. How I dealt with it. One, through sheer force. I, like most people in my age group, had to literally force their way to try and just work with other people. But that is the best way that I can explain it. It was a time. I was depressed, anxious all the time. Whenever, like, I went to church as a kid into my late teens in my early working career. I avoided reading scriptures a lot. I tried to tell people, hey, I don't want to read. And some people respected that, but some didn't. But it was a time. So for my supervisors and managers, you might be wondering, how do you focus on what you need to focus on? So I'll give them the best example that I can. Where is a box? I need box. Say this is the box and this is the vision label. Mom, you're gonna be so proud of me. I didn't steal your post-it notes this time. I stole my eldest sister's. So here's my box. Now, when you get older, well, for me, whenever I got older, I can feel that it wasn't a constant thing anymore, but it felt like a light switch whenever dyslexia hit. Like, I can read normally now, but at random parts of the day, there's just a light switch that just turns on and mixes words, and I get to have fun playing a really screwed up game of Scrabble. But when it hits and I'm at my facility, like, I work at the 4-8 split. So I separate 4s and 8s, but as my management team and supervisors know, I do a lot more than that. I keep track of every single missort. This is what I do. If I see a box and I feel it coming on, which does happen, like, I have to be prepared for this. When I feel it coming on, all I do is this. I touch the box and look at only that box. I delete everything else around me. I basically get rid of my surroundings. It's just me and the box. And I basically brute force making sure that I am reading that correctly. Now, what does dyslexia actually look like, though? I have a couple of examples and an interview to show you. So I'm going to show you the one that I like first and foremost. So it's this one.
What does dyslexia look like? Let's have a look. This is what happens when the words are appearing to be three-dimensional on a page. It's pretty tricky to read. Here's what happens when the words appear to be shattering. It's like the words are pulling apart from each other. This is words disappearing. That's not a form of dyslexia you want to have. And here's what happens when the lines of text sort of appear wavy, very difficult. And this is words shaking. You don't want to be trying to read when words are shaking on the page. And this is what happens when the words seem to be swirling. You can see the middle bit clearly, but outside of that, it's tough. If your child has dyslexia, help them.
Fair warning, I don't like this one as much. However, it also gets the point across. The reason why I don't like it is because of all the motion and visual graphics that are put into this production for this one. Now here's an interview with Keira Knightley. She is a very famous actress who, in one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time, the Pirates of the Caribbean. This is her interview of when she grew up.
School when I was about 5 was amazing because I was absolutely top of every class. Well, top of my class. And I was reading in front of people and I thought of myself as being unbelievably intelligent. And then when I was 6, they realised that I hadn't been reading at all and that my mum read to me all the time. We had lots of books at home and I'd memorised them. And it was only when somebody finally gave me a book that my mum hadn't read me that they realised that I hadn't been reading at all and couldn't read at all. So when I was 6, I went from being the top of the class to the absolute bottom of the class. And I still remember what a shock that was. And I still remember how I saw myself completely differently from that moment. I was really, really lucky. I was at a brilliant state primary school. And also my brother had been there before and he'd been diagnosed with dyslexia, so they'd already dealt with him. And the teachers there said to my parents, you need to find a carrot to dangle in front of Keira. There's no reason that she shouldn't be able to read and there's no reason that she shouldn't be able to, do well at school, but you need to find a carrot. And really fortunately for me, I wanted to act. So it was my head teacher, who was a brilliant man called David Cooper, who said to my mum, if she wants to act, then you let her act, but she's only allowed to do it if her grades either stay the same or go up. If she drops a grade, then you take the carrot away. I think I've always been very creative. It was art, it was drama, it was music. I was always very good at creative writing. I was top of those classes. It's just that my spelling was awful. Again, the teachers that I had recognised how important it was that I knew that the points that I was making and the pieces of creative writing, the stories that I were telling, were great and were valid and were interesting, and that they gave me a mark for that. And that the spelling and the punctuation was entirely different. Because when you split them up, you're not saying you're not intelligent enough. What you're saying is, hey, you're not very good at this bit, and that's fine. That's fine. Deal with that bit, but well done, because that was a great story. Because actually, confidence is the most important thing. And if you tell a child that they're not good at something, and you tell a child that they're stupid, then they'll feel like they are. And so I think it's really important to say you're not stupid. Your brain simply works differently than other people, and you can find different ways around it, and you'll be good at other things. You may not be a brilliant speller, you may not be a very fast reader, but you will learn how to read, and you will learn as much spelling as you need to, but you'll be better at different things, and I think that's unbelievably important to know as a kid. My spelling makes people laugh. It makes me laugh, actually, and my reading, if I'm sight reading, it's a complete joke. I mean, it'll mean something else completely. It won't make any sense at all, which, for what I do for a living was quite difficult, because if you give me a page of dialogue now, I can just about do it, but I mean, it jumps about, and, it takes me a while. I really need to learn it. I need to sit with it. I always have to say, you cannot give me a rewritten scene on the day and think that I'm going to be able to perform it well. If you give me a rewritten scene the day before and I have a night to work on it, I will be able to do it well. I think I was really lucky that it was diagnosed when I was 6. So that early diagnosis was key to absolutely everything. So I think probably because of my dyslexia, my work ethic has always been really high, I think it's vital that teachers are trained about dyslexia, about spotting it, and about working with dyslexic kids. It's absolutely vital. Because the world is changing, and imagination is key to everything, and there's going to be a lot of kids whose potential are lost unless we train our teachers to effectively teach them.
Yeah, I harmonize with that a lot. And there's been questions about, do you ever grow out of dyslexia? Nah, you just get used to it. Like, there's no cure. Your brain just works differently. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, I want to say that while it is well known, the job place is not very understanding, as it were. Like, there's people understand and be like, oh, you can't read well. Okay, fine. We will put you over there. However, not many dyslexic people want to say, hey, I'm dyslexic. I'll need a job that is less labor intensive in the reading field. They're not going to say that. because most people will translate that and be like, oh, you're dumb. It's not a fun feeling. But yeah, if any of you have ever read my writing, like, I'm a very creative writer now. Like, I started getting into writing after school. Like, I hated it during school, but after school, I started getting into creative writing, and my spelling and grammar is atrocious, but I understand it, which is good because, you know, my stories are meant for me, not for anyone else. But yeah, I rely heavily on programs like Grammarly that corrects your spelling and make sure that punctuation and proper grammar is in the words that I'm putting down. It's a real lifesaver. It won't correct everything. It won't it will say, are you sure you meant this and not this? And sometimes it doesn't catch every spelling mistake, especially if that word already exists. But yeah, and don't get me started on the yours or the theirs. I still have trouble. Like, I know each one, but man, that was a whole day of learning. And when I mean a whole day of learning, just take it at its word. It was difficult. Like most people, when they learn something, they learn it within a few minutes. It took me a day to really hunker down and be like, oh, okay, this is actually how it's spelled and how it's used. My gosh. Anyway, that's what dyslexia looks and sounds like. Here are some bloopers from Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's see if you can see every single form of dyslexia here from Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley. Shall we? Thank you all for watching.
Parlay? That's the one. Parlay. Down to the depths, whatever mutton they thought of parlay.
French. Latin-based, of course. Inventors of mayonnaise.
I like mayonnaise.
Oh, I've been really slippy down here.
Oh, exciting.
You have no idea.
I've been missing.
What'd you call me? Are you calling me out? Who's calling you out?
It's not me.
Pity. Commodore Norrington, my... Do you have the courage and fortitude to follow orders and stay... I love you, man. Let's just face facts. Do you have the courage and fortitude to follow orders and stay brave in the sea? Oh, God, I hate this bloody line. We're the writers. I'm going to kill them.
No!
Me hot as yo ho!
Might I trouble you for something to wear? Or will it be bare breast and ankles all the way?
Ankles all the way. Elizabeth?
Oh, man down.
Come on! Wait! Take this with you. Take this as well. Go on. Take it.
Captain Jack, why did we ever let him go? He's more fun than Barbosa.
No!
If I may.
Bugger it. Go back on that bit.
Impressive.
You could have killed me before if you were willing to use fire.
Wait a minute.
He still risks his life. Look up.
Excuse me, sorry. How do you like it? I'm sorry I don't understand this. Oh, yes, huge, enormous energy.
Same thing, only better, please.
It's good for the hand. There?
You want me to finish that off with that hand thing, right?
No! Swash, swash, buckle, buckle. Is that a plane?
Good!
Check the gate.
Hello. Roll camera!
Hey, camera Mark. You just picked me.
Don't eat me! Don't eat me! We just made... I'm sorry. That was dreadful. Let's put some distance between us and this island and head out to open sea.
Yes to the first and yes to the second, but only so far as we keep to the... I'm just going to start a take again. Shall I? Good idea.
If it weren't for these bars, I'd have you already.
Say that last line again, kid. The charge is conspiring to set free a man convicted of... I can't read my own writing. Crimes. Thank you very much.
So all that's left is to climb aboard the Davy Jones crocodile machine or whatever it's called. What's the bloody thing called? Flying what? Dutchman.
You knew this.
I did not.
You knew this.
I did not. I'm sorry. A little over the top, maybe.
Maybe.
The East India Trading Company has need of your services.
What is the East India East India...
There's no one there.
The charge is conspiring to set free a man legally, lawfully... Sorry, I'm slightly confused because I didn't know which version we were doing. Shall I say it or Jonathan say it?
That's my line, dear.
Sorry.
Are you certain? Sorry.
But if you go and brave the weird and hunt it sure that world's end, then I'm stuck. I'm sorry.
Why fight when you can negotiate? All one needs. Help?
There's a female presence, yes, sir. All the men have felt her. No, they haven't.
I shall help you to find the compass if you'll do strange things to my dog. His name is Tim. Faith in your reconciliatory and navigating. There, I said it. I feel better for it. Thanks, dear.
Again!
Let's go back to the beginning. Sorry.
Blah, 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 blah. Kill him!
Nice one.
Cutting.
Cut. Parker!
Not interested.
And set. And action.
Do we have an accord?
Marker. Action!
You can keep Barbosa, the belligerent homunculus and his sticky wooden friend.
Set. Still rolling. Come back. Marker.
I'll get it this time, I promise.
Don't worry. Set. Action.
You can keep Barbosa, the belligerent homunculus and his...
Hard at port! Gather way! Keep her trim!
Nay, belay that! Do something else!
You can't come.
I don't know how he's going to do it. I'm getting this all wrong completely. Can we start again?
Apologies, Your Majesty. But 'tis certain the world we know ends today, and I won't be letting the likes of Beckett Cutler, well, says he's sometimes known Cutler Beckett.
My beer. Hi, darling. My beer.
Someone must ensure that the world turns properly. People are what they... Oh,
But that, you can't curse in a Disney film, mate. See? I told him.
Margaret.
Mr. Gibbs, is there any particular reason why my ship is gone?
The ship.
Square my debt with Jones. Guarantee my freedom. What's in there?
Why didn't you tell me you were planning this?
Buzzy, what's the bear? Buzzy, had no hair. Go on.
Sir.
I'm trying to work.
Sir.
Calypso! I come before you as but a servant. You blew my hat off, you.
Let us not, dear friend, forget our lines. Let us not forget our lines, shall we?
Back to your station, sailor.
And I assure you our intentions are strictly honorable.
And the objects. Chronology.
It's strictly honorable. I assure you our intentions are strictly honorable.
Thinking of putting in French doors, actually. Like a bit of crossbreed.
Sorry, I got caught up.
Thinking of putting in French doors, actually. Like a bit of crossbreed.
Oh, God.
Thank you, sir.
And action.
Oh. Bugger. That's powerful. Do we have any call? Bugger, that was good.
Hi there, movie lovers.